Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Calvin Cam Podcast, the podcast where we talk about movies, video games, and everything else. I'm Calvin.
And I'm Anthony. And today we have a new segment. What are you playing? So let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. And we are so happy to be done with the 31 Days of Halloween. We're going to miss it, and we're going to do it next year, obviously. But we are excited to move on finally, and we have a new segment that we've created. It's called What Have You Been Playing? And it's just this podcast segment will be all around video games. So everything we love about games, everything we play, all the news we hear, etc. Just we are talking about games, and we are showing our love for games, and we want it to be very engaging.
Yeah.
So
this is a new segment. It's going. I mean, we're gonna keep the movie reviews in the rotation. It's another part of our essence of our channel. So we want to talk about games, and I think this is going to be a good segment because we're just going to talk about what we've been playing, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and we will see where it goes.
Yeah. So I'll kick it off. I recently just played Insomniac's Spider-Man 2, and I platinumed that shit. So it was incredible, and I give that game an easy 10 out of 10. Not even because I'm a Spider-Man fan, but just because that game is perfect. It's everything you want it to be. It's the Arkham series on crack, basically. I know a lot of people compare the Batman games to the Spider-Man games. I don't know if you've played the first Spider-Man or...
I haven't played any of the Spider-Man Insomniac games, but I have played the Batman games.
Yeah.
I played Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. And
Yeah.
I loved Arkham Asylum.
You own the Spider-Man games, don't you?
I own them. I just don't have time.
Yeah. We've been so busy.
Yeah. I'm rested up though.
Yeah.
I'm rested up this time. I'm ready to go for this new segment.
Yeah,
So.
I had to drink some serious energy drinks to get through Spider-Man 2 because I had to. But Spider-Man is a lot like the Arkham games. I would say I would compare them to
The combat.
combat, punch, counter, or whatever. I think that, or dodge. I think in Spider-Man's case, I think in Batman's case it's counter. But in Spider-Man's case, it's dodging, and then you use all your gadgets in mid-combat and all that stuff. It's very much the same, and then it's like free roam city, running around.
It's just basically kind of like Arkham City, just open world. And what did intrigue me about that is just Spider-Man being Spider-Man. He's just webbing from building and building and climbing and going and just exploring the open world aspect of the game while he's probably going to complete tasks and quests and all those things that you do in those type of games anyways.
Yeah, it's really great, and just the mechanics of web swinging from building to building is perfect. It's perfected. Insomniac did such a incredible, amazing job at making it feel like you actually are Spider-Man and you actually are doing the things that need to be done to take care of the city of New York. In Spider-Man 2, they expanded the map. It's even bigger. It's New York, Queens, and Brooklyn, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I heard that they expanded on the actual physical mechanic of traveling with the web with Miles Morales.
It's so good. It's so good. The Miles Morales game definitely took a further leap with the traveling around. But Spider-Man 2, I think, ultimately perfected everything, because not only do you have insane fast travel, the fast travel is literally less than a second. You can't even tell. So, and it's cool because instead of it being like most games where there's certain places on the map that you hover over and you fast travel to said location, this is like sections of New York. You have to do a certain amount of tasks in those sections to unlock the ability to fast travel to those sections. And within those sections, because they're big, you can, anywhere you hover over, anywhere you fast travel to that point, anywhere.
Okay.
So once you've unlocked the whole map, it doesn't matter where you are. You literally click in, you click on it, and the camera from the top down view of the map goes into you swinging like right where
That's
you
really
right
that's
where you,
really cool.
it's incredible.
And that's really I don't know. I don't think I've seen games that you actually do that, because it just keeps you super immersed in the experience of being Spider-Man moving, because that's all he does is move. He webs and moves.
It's awesome, and they did there's no load time, so it's just instant, and I love it so much. They also introduced a wingsuit for Spider-Man, so he has like in the classic Spider-Man comics, he has the web wings, so like you can be swinging and then you just web wing and you glide like wherever, and it much faster.
That's cool. So that's a cool mechanic that they added too.
Yeah.
So how's the story? How is Venom and all the symbiotes and stuff? How is that involved in this one?
So I don't want to spoil anything for you, but
I won't get to it anytime soon. You can talk a little bit about it. You can give me a brief, like, I'm going to sip a little bit of wine here. Like, you can give me a taste of it.
So, the way that this story is handled, I think is really great for comic book lovers, especially for those who like have, knowledge of what Venom is in the comics and stuff like that. Just like the first game, you think you know what the story is about, but then halfway through the game, you complete your quest with that so-called main protagonist, and then the last half of the game is a complete and total surprise.
Oh, cool.
And it throws you off completely, and it's Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2018.
So there's a little twist in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like Spider-Man 2018, huge dramatic twist, incredible story, super sad. There's not a single person I know who hasn't played it or who has played it and has not cried. Like
the story's really good then.
Like story's really good. This game, I didn't necessarily I teared up, but I didn't cry the way they did with the first game. But this story is awesome. It's so incredible. The stakes are so big towards the end, and just the involvement of all the characters. So Kraven the Hunter he's made to be the big bad guy in this game.
Okay.
And so you get about 3/4 of the way through and complete that whole arc and fight him and whatnot. The journey to it is insane. And once he's finally defeated, you have a whole another quarter of the game that just feels huge, because about 3/4 of the way through, spoiler alert for everybody, turn away now. If you don't want to know anything about Spider-Man, come back in like 10 minutes. Come back in like 10 minutes of the videos. Fast forward the video. But Venom then comes into play, and they take a different approach with Venom in this game. And Venom is not Eddie Brock, as they announced before the game came out. Normally, the character Eddie Brock has always been Venom in most cases. But in this game, it actually turns out to be your best friend, Harry Osborn, who becomes Venom. And
oh shit, that's a twist.
It's
so
a twist.
Do we have both? Do we have both universes, like the Spider-Verse? Do we have Miles Morales, or we have Peter Parker?
So we have this game is its own universe.
Okay.
It stands outside of the comics, the MCU, the Spider-Verse, everything like that. Because
so Gwen's not in it.
Gwen
2099 is not in it.
Not in this one.
Spider-Ham, no Spider-Ham.
No Spider-Ham.
Okay.
However, there is.
See, I'm learning these characters from Marvel Snap.
Yes. There's a
slowly
huge connection to the Spider-Verse through a side mission. Basically, you're swinging around the city, and then you get a random ping on your radar, and your best friend Genki, who is Miles Morales' best friend, he's like, yo, there's this ping, like, I don't know what the signal is, like, it seems so weird, and it's coming from like millions and millions of like light years away, like it's like not even existent in this universe, it feels like. And so you go to this pinging thing, and you find out it's this little robot, and it's a robot that has different Spider-Man characters on it, like 2099, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, like all these weird. So once you collect all of them, then a location on the map opens up, and you go to said location, and all of a sudden you're like, the dialogue varies depending on who you are, because you can switch between Peter and Miles at any time in this game.
Okay.
So depending on who you are, and it only changes slightly, you go to said location, and a portal opens up in the side of a building, and you look through the portal, and it's the fucking Spider-Verse like animation from the movies. And like this character is there at a bar, and she's like, well, shit, like what's going on here, basically. And she gives a whole like little spiel, and is just like, tell Miguel when you see him that something or another, something. So it's really cool that it's connected.
That's really cool. So the Spider-Verse is like connected in a way.
Yeah, it's connected for sure in a way. But it's really cool. That's the thing with these Spider-Man movies and the MCU, is just like all of these worlds exist together infinitely, just in their own respected universes.
The thing is, in terms of MCU, I just know the basic characters. Like, I didn't know about all the characters in the MCU. I mean, I'm learning this with playing Marvel Snap, because it's just, there's so many characters in the MCU, and just in the universe that Stan Lee created, just like there's a million characters.
So many.
The only ones I know are the iconic ones, like Captain America and Wolverine and Rogue and you know, Mr. Fantastic, the Fantastic Four and the Guardians. Those are the only ones I really know. And I'm just like learning that there's all these other ones. There's Man-Thing, and there's all the Midnight Suns, which I learned by playing, Marvel Midnight Suns, and it's just cool. It's just really awesome.
There's so many
characters with so many backstories, and just it's just so much to cover. And it's just like Stan Lee was brilliant when he like came up with all these stories for these characters.
It's so cool, man. Like, and Spider-Man 2 is just a perfect example of like showing off the universe a little bit more, or showing off the Marvel love in a way more. But yeah, like it's going back to what I was saying, like Harry Osborn, he becomes Venom, and then you get this whole giant arc with him as Venom.
That's cool.
Taking over the city,
because Harry Osborn's basically Green Goblin's dad. It's a son, right?
Yeah, it's
the one that played. The one was played by William Dafoe in the first Spider-Man.
Yeah,
right?
James Franco played him. And I forget who the
James
actor
Franco played
was. But
he played Harry Osborn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, James Franco played Harry Osborn. William Dafoe played Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he turns into Venom, and he just basically takes over the city. Like he infects the city with with the symbiote stone meteorite that hints at like it's so hard because like there's so much to cover with this storyline.
I was about to say, so symbiotes. So is Null involved in this?
Yes, Null is kind of involved in this.
Okay, because he's the symbiote god, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and he knows this by Marvel Snap. Null is one of the most powerful cards in that game.
Yeah, he's pretty powerful in Marvel Snap, and I learned about Null. I didn't even know who Null is till I learned about him.
Yeah, so that's like a whole recent, like last 5-10 years of comics have been introducing more on the symbiotes. And so it was interesting to see that they put that into the game. They don't necessarily mention Null, but they hint at Null, and they hint at the symbiotes as a species. And so basically Venom taking over the city, corrupting Harry's mind, and infecting the citizens of New York, making multiple, like hundreds of people turn into symbiotes, and like you have to battle all of them, and you have to like get this stone meteorite away from Venom so that you can end the spread of this takeover. And then you even get hints at like you get a whole Anti-Venom story, which I don't know if you've seen Anti-Venom at all in Marvel Snap. Anti-Venom is
he a character?
Yeah, Anti-Venom. Well, it's a suit or a symbiote that stemmed from Venom that is basically the cure for cancer.
I'm assuming
Like-
I'm assuming down the road it'll come to the game.
Yeah,
Like
so-
all these characters have come to the game.
So it's basically a white and black suit instead of a black and white suit. And you basically are using your anti-venom power to combat Venom. And it ends so crazy, dude. Like, I love it. I can't wait for you to like get into those and play those. But that was what I was mainly playing this past couple weeks since
When
it
you
came
weren't
out.
when you weren't
So-
helping me on 31 days.
Yeah. Yeah. When I had some time outside of like just doing everything, like I'd log in a couple hours at a time and, kick Erica off the PlayStation because she loves the Sims, and Sims is great, but like, I gotta play some Spider-Man.
I gotta have my Spider-Man on PlayStation time.
I'm gonna play some Spider-Man. Late hours, lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we've been working on the 31 days, I have played some stuff. I've played a little bit more Marvel Snap. The new season came out, which was the Halloween season. They had Elsa Bloodstone was one of the main cards, and she was pretty fun. And then they also had Nico from the Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nico's tight, dude.
Yeah,
A
her card
runaway.
is cool because her staff. Every turn it turns into a different card that you can play that has different effects to all the different cards.
Oh,
So
nice.
She's a season 5 card. She came out, and then we had Werewolf by Night.
Nice.
is
Cool.
I actually got him out of a cache.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to mess with them, but yeah, I'm slowly learning about more Marvel characters. Like, I guess all these are Marvel characters that I just don't know about, and just in all the stories, I'm sure.
Dude, yeah. It's always nice to meet somebody and talk to somebody who hasn't like had so much experience with these characters.
I
'cause,
haven't.
like,
I'm learning from just this game.
yeah, and I love it too because like you always tell me like, holy shit, this character's fucking tight. Like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
yes,
mean,
yes,
the
this
last
character is
season,
tight.
the last season was the Loki season, and it came out when the new season of Loki just dropped. So they have Mobius R. Mobius. They have obviously Loki, and
Yeah.
it was just all Loki related. What's her name? Raven something Ravenheart. I can't remember her name, but she's also a card.
I'm forgetting.
Ravenhold. I can't remember her name.
Mhm.
Ravonna Renslayer.
Ravonna Renslayer.
Yeah,
okay.
Ravonna Renslayer. That's who it was. So those are the 3 cards. So yeah, it just slowly. I like that everyone at Second Dinner is kind of like they're following the Marvel universe in the MCU when it happens. So when something happens big in the MCU, they kind of just like cater
Like,
to
hey,
that.
check out these characters.
Yeah,
They're
check
from-
out these characters, and here's the new season of Loki. So we're gonna make this season a Loki season.
That's
which is cool.
Yeah, I like that. I haven't played Marvel Snap in a long time. I fell off that because I just couldn't buy into the seasons every like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's the thing is it's a lot of playing, and my only gripe with it is the caches. The caches are they just really made it RNG. Like now there's caches that you get, and it's guaranteed to give you a card sometimes. Now it just gives you basically tokens, the tokens that you use to buy cards. It either gives you 1,000 tokens, it'll give you a variant of whatever cards featured that week. So one week you have Werewolf by Night, like for example this week, and then you have I can't remember the other cards that are in there. I think Rogue is one of them, and not Rogue, Mirage.
Mirage,
And-
yeah.
yeah, Mirage is in the game now, and Mirage, and I don't remember what the other one. I think it's Ghost Spider. I think it's Ghost Spider or Silk. One of those characters in there.
Silk might be.
Silk is a cool card.
There's a lot of talk about Silk right now.
Yeah. So there's those, and so you'll get one of those cards out of the cache. You have a chance to get them, or you'll get, if you own the card, you'll just get a variant of that card. But yeah, I think that they need to go back to. I mean, they do have it with Pool 3. Like if you're not all the way up through Pool 3, which is all the starting cards, like you have Pool 1, which has like most of you already know how it goes with most of the iconic MCU characters, and then it moves up from there. So it's cool in Pool 3. If you're not through it, if you're a new player, you every month you have a chance to pick out a card from Pool 3. Like there'll be cards in Pool 3 that you can pick out. But once you get all of them, that stops. So it just goes to everything that's going to be in the season caches. Remember, they used to have like series drops. I kind of like the series drops because then you could get the cards easier. They don't have series drops anymore. It's just caches. So the community is kind of they're a little jaded about it. And I think that they want to, people have been talking about it. So I don't know if Second Dinner's been taking hint that they should probably work on that.
Yeah.
Because they kind of don't want to make their game like super pay to win. Like if you can't get any of those new cards, then if the new, I like how they changed the meta. They change the meta up every other week. They look at the game and they change it, which is cool. But yeah, it's a thing that they need to improve, I think, in the game. But other than that, the game's still fun. I still like playing it. I mean, I learn a lot about the MCU and just the universe overall, the Marvel universe, by just all the new cards that come out.
I think that's great. Like, I think that's great that the game can like show you these characters because I mean, they're all so amazing and worth talking about. So, so like that's mainly what I was playing. I just got into the beta for the finals. I played some rounds of the finals. I like this game a lot. I think that it's really fun. It's very unique and very different from a lot of FPSs, and I think that surprisingly, it beat out a number of players that were playing Baldur's Gate 3. It was like hundreds of thousands people. Like servers of the finals were crashing and stuff.
Wow, I knew that it was unique, and I've kind of followed it for a while. I've known about it. I found out about GameRanks. GameRanks did it. They showed like a little episode and tidbits on it, and it's just like this looks like an interesting concept. Like the match changes to a different game mode. Like,
yeah, it's really fun.
There's destructible environments in it, and all these things like zip lines and all these things. I just said this game looks like it could be a lot of fun. When I followed it way back, maybe a year and a half ago, before it became, it's going gold and it's going into the official beta stages at the moment, where it's open beta right now. I'll get a chance to try that out and actually play it because I haven't had a chance to play it. But it looks really, really. It looked fun from all the videos I've watched. I heard there's a lot of people playing it now.
It's really good. It's interesting. I haven't played a game like it. I guess maybe. I mean, there are games like it with the modes. It's basically, get to the objective, take the objective to cash out the objectives, So like, and it's what I've been playing. I've only been playing the quick matches because I haven't had time to like really focus on like what the other game types are. But the matches that I have played are really fun. It's a 3v3v3. That's the teams, and it's really cool because it's like in an arena and there's an announcer and it's like esports kind of. They're like, you have the Shock and Aws versus the Rugrats versus whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's really fun. And there's commentary the entire time you're playing. Like,
so that's an interesting. Excuse me. Words are hard. That's an interesting approach to a FPS because normally we have a regular traditional FPS where you have team deathmatch, capture the flag, and then you have obviously, which has been popular, is obviously open world with Warzone and
the battle royales.
But now it's kind of cool, like they're shifting and trying to make something else with the FPS genre, kind of like switching it up a little bit because we kind of need a mixture because we've had these genres and these game modes for, I don't know, 20, 30 years, ever since Quake. And
you can only do the same thing for so long, right?
Exactly. So
switching it up is good, and I think the finals does a really great job at that. And the gameplay is fluid. You don't even have to, like, once you load it up, you don't even have to do a tutorial for this game because it's like literally just like every FPS there is. Like, there's your basic slide button or crouch slide button, your basic jump. That's like it. Your basic interact button. Like, That's it. Like there, you really like. I played the tutorial and was like, oh, I didn't need to play the tutorial. Like I was like, it's really like straightforward. So
That's good to get something that's really easy that you can just jump right into. Because
Yeah.
some games try with tutorials, and you're like, I just want to get through this so I can play with my friends.
yeah, no, exactly. So I haven't even had the chance to play with anybody I actually know.
Yeah, hopefully we'll dip into that tonight
But
or the next day.
yeah, it's a good game. Other than that, let's see. I've been really looking forward to playing. I have not played yet, but this is what I'm about to play. Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
I have it. I haven't played it. I want to have time. I don't like to like jump in and get bits and pieces of a story driven game at a time. I like to like make long game sessions for myself doing story games. So
Yes, definitely.
so
agree with that.
I'll hold off on it until I can have the time to like fully like run through it. It's just been staring at me on my PlayStation. So.
There's just there's things about it that I've heard that there's tied to everything else in the Remedy universe, so I kind of like want to wait on it. So
Yeah, Remedy's really they've made a couple of like comments and announcements recently. I guess they're doing a Max Payne 1 and 2 remake.
man, I'm so ready for that.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. And I guess there's hints at them tying it into Control and Alan Wake. So I was like, cool. They did make an official statement that Quantum Break does not exist within the universe of Alan Wake. But it's cool that Control does exist within the Alan Wake universe. So
Yeah, and that was the reason I wanted to kind of like hold off after I've played Control, and like I can wait, so it's not a big deal. I kind of want to play Control first, since I've already played Alan Wake 1 and the American Nightmare, so I know that, and I just like all the nods to Max Payne in those games. So
yeah,
I heard there's a lot of nods to Control in Alan Wake 2, so that's kind of why I want to go back and play Control first.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but great things about Alan Wake 2. I think that it's gotten 9s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s. It's now looking to be a potential nominee for Game of the Year because it's so good, apparently, and it's actually legitimately terrifying. There's a lot of streamers, big streamers, who are playing the game who are terrified. I think Dr. Disrespect even was playing it.
Yeah, he's primarily FPS.
And I saw a little clip of him like jumping at a jump scare from Alan Wake 2, and I was like, oh shit, like everybody's playing this game. So like it's a big contender, and that's really great for Remedy. Like
yeah, as long as they have good stuff, like good, I'm sure they do. Like the guy in the lodge, you take 2 pills in the morning. I just love that guy. That guy was just insane. And he was a Taken guy that was just insane.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. Alan Wake's amazing. Such an amazing story and amazing game.
Yeah.
So, so I'm looking forward to playing that. And then other than that, that's all I've been really playing. Like I haven't really done.
We've been busy with the 31 days. I did have a chance to play the new RoboCop Rogue City.
Oh yeah, and that's officially coming out.
Yeah,
like
that's
this week.
It's officially coming out tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
So, tomorrow's the release date for RoboCop Rogue City.
Oh, so by the time you see this episode, it'll probably
out. It's been an open beta, and I played the open beta, and I really liked how they delved into the RoboCop universe. It was made by the same developer. It's I can't pronounce. I think it's Telyon or something like that is the developer. And they did this Terminator game, which was Terminator Resistance.
Yeah, and I heard good things about that.
I beat Terminator Resistance, and Terminator Resistance was amazing. And that one's a sleeper game.
Nice.
If you haven't played Terminator Resistance, go get it. If it's on sale, pick it up because that one's definitely worth playing. So it's made by the same developers that did this game, or that game, Terminator Resistance. And I like that the whole, the RoboCop it's just being fun, and he's a badass. He's like, he moves slow, like the gameplay mimics how RoboCop would move. He moves slow. He's a big armored
Alex Murphy.
Yeah, he's Alex Murphy, and he's a big guy, and you can hear the sounds like in the movie. I just love that it pays homage to the whole look of the game, like with the news segments, with the newscaster, with
Yeah.
all that stuff. It's just the story. There's like decisions and quests that you get with the NPCs, and just I love that the narrative shapes the game, and you get more. And then there was this whole deep dive with RoboCop's psychiatrist, so you get more of the psyche. Like, is he still? I mean, do you still have the whole elements of Alex Murphy? Like, he's still a man inside a machine. So it's just like, I love how it's developing more of the story of RoboCop. And I've always liked RoboCop because since I was a little kid,
he's awesome.
Yeah. And you love the movie, and you just love the story. And then it has Ann Lewis in it, and Ann Lewis is your partner. And it's
great.
just, you get more about her, like more story about Ann Lewis, because you really don't. You get a little bit of story in the first movie, but not really. She just becomes your partner. Mm-hmm. And this, it's just like, I could feel like they're gonna basically go into more depth on RoboCop's relationship with Ann Lewis, because they're partners.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
that's really cool.
The demo was cool, and then the music, and then all the sound effects, just all iconic and just authentic stuff, like to the RoboCop universe, like the way the gun fires, and you can pick up like all the guns, so you can just fire. And then he has the tracking system, like in the movie, just like you track and you do. And you say, it says crime in progress and all that stuff. It's just like, it's RoboCop, man. It's really fucking cool. Because all we've had in RoboCop is like side scrollers and stuff, like back in the day, and on the Super Nintendo and all on the Sega CD and all those games in the past, and in the arcade we had RoboCop. But yeah, you never had like an actual FPS RoboCop like game where it's story driven.
I'm excited to check that out. I haven't seen many. I saw a review on it. I haven't seen many. I only saw one. It's usually the first review that I ever see is IGN's review. Just because it's IGN. You got to take their reviews with a grain of salt. I love IGN, but at the same time, like, their review system is so weird. They gave it a 7. 7's good. Like, don't get me, a lot of people today like to consider 7 to be bad, just 9s and 10s, but no, 7's a good rating. So I'm curious to see how it goes, because especially if IGN's giving it a 7, it's probably like a 9.
Yeah, I don't know what Metacritic is giving it, Kotaku, all those other sites that review games. So
yeah, so I'm excited to check that out as well. Besides that, that's pretty much it. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think we played the new Counter-Strike for a little bit, and that was about it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for more updates.
31 days, yeah.
Waiting for more updates on that one, more game modes.
Yeah, we gun game, and they just need to put back some of the other game modes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to the more development on Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for today's episode. We thank you very much for listening and watching. As always, please go to our, social media links, Patreon, our audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, all those. Check us out. Follow us, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Really helps the channel grow. Hope you liked today's episode, our new segment. I'm really excited and really happy with it. So it's something I would like to continue doing. Let me know how you feel about it. And
yeah, feel free to leave some comments. I know that we just did a big movie overload of movie content.
Yes, so much.
So I don't know if how the listeners are going to be like, oh, they're switching to something else.
They're talking about games now.
Talking about games.
No, yeah. So we're
definitely going to have our movie reviews. Those aren't going away.
No, the plan as of now is to do a movie review a week, and to do these episodes weekly as well, and do our entertainment news. We're bringing that back as well, and we might squeeze in another episode if we can with something else. So stay tuned. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you all so much for watching the Calvin Cam podcast. You can find us on any social media platforms like Instagram or Twitter. Go check our podcast out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. We also have YouTube channel, the Calvin Cam. Go over there, hit that like and subscribe button, and follow us there. As well as you can now really support us on Patreon.com. It's probably the best place to support us. So you can go there, join one of our 3 tiers, and help us get bigger and better, and we will appreciate you every step of the way. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night.